Hey again everyone, Tim with timscomputerfix.net. Got a really good one here for you. Well, maybe you might make a good video, but it really isn't good for me. I've just started this new build here. This is a Gigabyte B450 motherboard AMD right here. And I'm going to be using the Ryzen 5 3rd Gen 3600 Ryzen 5 processor. And I've already got my motherboard out of the box, ready to go, because I was going to do a little test of everything before I installed it in my case. And so I've got my motherboard ready, and I got my CPU out of the box, which is good to go. And let me just move this out of the way because it's not really what I want to talk about in this video. So with me just opening up this processor, I'm ready to install it in my socket. And I open up the packaging that holds my processor. And what I always do immediately when I remove the processor from the packaging is I flip it upside down. And I inspect all of the pins on the processor. Right here, I have some bent pins. I am reluctant to go ahead and RMA this or return it to Amazon. With the way deliveries have been going, it would take forever to get my replacement, if it's even available. So anyway, I've decided that I'm going to go ahead and try to bend these pins back. And it can be done. I've done it before on other processors, in the past, way back in the day, with other CPU, AMD older CPUs. I've done it before, and I've done it successfully. But I figured I'd make a video showing you guys my process and what I do to bend these pins. So I'm going to try to get everything situated where you have a little bit of better or a closer view. You can get a good bird's eye, a good view of these pins, and so I can show you how I'm going to be attempting to bend these back. I got a customer waiting on this. If I sent this back, who knows how long I'd be waiting and how long this job will get pushed back. If I bend those back and the CPU doesn't work, then I'll just go ahead and return it, and it'll just have to be what it is. But that's what I'm going to try to do. So let's see if we can get these pins bent back. Okay, everyone, here's a little bit of a closer look. Pretty obvious where the issue lies here. You can see right here. These few pins, there's 3 of them right here that are bent. So with me, I'm sure everyone has advice on how, or thoughts on how they would go about maybe bending those pins back. But I'm going to do it the way I am comfortable doing it. And I'll show you here. I have this vise, and I'm going to use this vise. Now, before you get excited and say, oh my God, a vise, listen. I want to be able to secure this chip where I can use one hand. I don't have a high quality zoom camera where I can just hold it and do it. Plus, this is going to keep it nice and steady for me so my hands won't be shaking and all that, which is what I want. Now, I'm not just going to put this in there and clamp down. I've got these nice, soft, squishy pads here that I'm going to put on each side of this vise. Something similar to this. Turn it this way where you can see it a little better. Okay, I'm going to, having a look here where my pins are. Okay, I'm just going to set my chip in there. And I'm going to tighten this down very gently until I get it just snug where I can't move it around. And that's all I want. I'm not going to go clamping down on this thing, okay? So now I can use one hand or whatever, and I don't have to worry about this moving around or shaking on me, and it's not going anywhere. So that's how I'm going to approach this. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to bring it up a little bit, a little higher, something like that. Okay, just enough, and go a little bit snugger. That's it, right there. Right there. That ain't going nowhere. That's enough where I can bend these pins and not have to worry about it. So let's see now about getting what we need to straighten these pins out, shall we? Okay, I have gotten this positioned how I want it. Off camera, I kind of pulled back some of the cushion here that was in my way of viewing what I need to do here. But I have everything now positioned just right to where I have access to and visual. Everything is positioned where I can easily access and see what I am working on here. So let's have a closer look. Let's see if I can get a closer look on my end. You guys can see that just fine, but I'm working on trying to figure out what the best way for me to view this would be. So wow, so I see that one's bent a little bit. There are two of them right here that are both bent and they're darn near touching each other. So, yep. Well, I guess I'm going to start with this one here. You know, the only thing you hope for is they don't like bend and snap off. You know, we can just hope for the best on that. I got me a very little small screwdriver here. I'm just going to try to put a little bit of... Whoop, that one bent right into place, quick. Yeah, that one looks almost perfect. So that one bent okay back. So let's just hope that's okay. Okay. I'm going to go to these two here. I think I might want to try to just kind of go right in between them. See if I can't split them apart first. It's tough. Very, very tough. Okay, that one is close. Very close, very close. Let me do this last one here. Okay, that one bent. I think this one needs to go a little bit more. Yeah. This one, I don't know. That's, yeah. Needs to go towards me. Here we go. Maybe. Maybe. Maybe this one too. A little bit. Oh. Sorry, I know the light is kind of crazy, but you can see a teeny bit more. Too much. Man, that's tough. Pretty close. Look here and see where I've got. Got a razor blade here. I'm just being very gentle with it. Pretty close. Got to be a teeny bit more. Literally, you can go cross-eyed doing this. I think I've got something there. Teeny bit, but not much. Yeah, I got it. I mean, well, I'll tell you what. It is pretty darn close. To me, I mean, I don't know how much better you're going to get than that. Okay? So, I mean, you have to just get it the way you're happy with it. And that's what I've been trying to do. So all we have to do is just see how it fits in the socket. So let's give that a try now. I've got my socket ready to give this a try. So this is really important. When you set this down on here, you do not want to push and force anything down to an extent, to a certain extent. All right? So we're just going to want to see how it fits in the socket gently, just to be sure that everything lines up. Okay? If it doesn't line up and fall into that socket, then you may have to do some readjustments. Now, as you can see here, that chip did not sit flush on this side, and that's the side that had the bent pins. Okay, you can see over here it's just fine. It's flush. So, this is completely up to you, but this is what I'm going to do. I am just going to put a little bit of pressure on it, not enough to bend the pins or smash them or anything like that. I just want to see if they might be slightly out of place, and maybe if I just press down on this gently and apply a little bit of pressure, maybe it'll just slip back into those little holes where the pins are supposed to go. So I'll just kind of, oh, see? I barely pushed down on that, and now it went flush. This chip is now completely flush. I do not have to do any more adjustments to those pins. The less you have to bend those pins back and forth, the better, because if you bend them back and forth enough times, they will snap off. And as you saw, whenever I was doing it, I accidentally bent another pin. So that's the kind of stuff you want to try to avoid. I've got everything back into place. All we can do is hope for now is that the pins are still strong enough to where when we put this locking mechanism down, that it doesn't just go ahead and just break those pins off. And you'll know that when the dang processor or the computer is having issues, you know exactly, you pretty much bet what's going on. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and just lock this down. And that's it. Now all we do, clean everything up, mount the heatsink, and let's test everything out to see if it's fully functional. I'm going to use a little bit of isopropyl alcohol. We are going to clean off the top of this. It's been handled a fair bit more than usual. Tried to keep my fingerprints off of it, but I know I could have used gloves, but I didn't. We'll be just fine here. A little bit of a coffee filter and some isopropyl. Clean off that chip. Now we got our cooler here. We can finally move on and hope for the best on this. I think they're going to be okay, to be honest. It's a regular old Wraith cooler here. Wraith Stealth cooler. It does have thermal material on the bottom. We're going to have to take off these brackets right here, so we're going to go ahead and get that done. And I want the AMD, I want that facing away from the RAM slots. So that's what we'll do here. Looks good. Put it back on the box. Cooler is installed. Let's go ahead, bust out our RAM here and get on with the rest of this build. A bit of a Vengeance DDR4 3200 megahertz RAM. Okay, we go ahead and plug in our CPU fan. It's going to be our 1650 Super, the video card we're going with here. We're just going to pop that in right here on this first slot. Click, click. Be sure that that's sitting in there correctly. It is. And then I'll go through the steps of getting our power supply plugged into this, and we can test this. Okay, everyone, I've got everything kind of set up here. Video card, motherboard, 24 pin. I got the CPU power connected. Video card's ready to go. I got power to my power supply. I just gave that power. So now let's find out if this processor is indeed functional. I'm going to short out the two power pins here, needed to power this on. Okay, loud fan spin. Up, that's video card spinning. Give it a second here. Hot, CPU hits again. Let's see what happens here. Not sure. Wow. Not good. Waiting. Wait. Still waiting for a post. None yet. Still waiting. Let's try this again with the video cable plugged in. Didn't have the video cable plugged in. That's funny for the monitor. Fire that up again. See if we get a post. Oh, well, guess what we have, ladies and gentlemen? We have a post. So there we have it. We have a post. So it looks like as far as I can tell so far, that we successfully get those pins bent back into place. I'm going to do some more testing here to be sure that this is indeed stable, but I would imagine it would be. I mean, hey, if you only have a few pins bent on your CPU, it's worth a try to maybe bend those back. If you have a lot of them smashed up and stuff, it'd be very difficult. But I just hope that this helps somebody in gaining some confidence if they need to try to straighten their CPU pins out. So thanks for watching and have a great YouTube day. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, why don't you head right down below here, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel. That would be really awesome. I have much more computer repair videos coming your way. There's also a bell you can click for to get notifications for my videos. I really appreciate everybody's support. And as usual, everyone, until next time, See you soon.